Okay, hello and welcome everybody to Dynamic Hot Yoga, Sunday morning 10 a.m. class. So hello to everyone who's joining us new today. So let's start now in our mountain posture. So our feet are together, toe joints are touching. Lift and spread the toes so you've got that sense of feeling grounded through the feet. Rock back and forth. The weight comes slightly back into the heels, so strong through the legs, engaging through the thighs, lifting the pelvic floor up gently, and then drawing the leg back towards the spine. So that's our root lock, which gives us that lovely internal lift and lengthening through the spine, round to the ceiling, shoulders relaxed, arms released by our sides. And our deep breathing begins, so keeping the breath deep and relaxed throughout your practice. Breathing in and out through the nose, if you can. So let's start now with our first pranayama to warm up the body. Interlacing the thumbs under the chin. So the thumbs are touching the throat. Your chin is square, elbows to touch. Let's breathe in now. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose, exhale, relax the head back, breathing out through the mouth, elbows to touch. Keep going. Just the head going down. Keep the legs engaged. Flooding our bodies with oxygen. Preparing the muscles for our practice. 3 more. 2. 1. And return. Coming back to our mountain posture, hands to prayer, shoulders relaxed. Take a deep inhale, sweep the arms high. Look up to the fingertips, and then look straight ahead. Inhale, lift out of your waist, lengthen through to the fingertips, and then exhale over to your right side. So we're nice and easy on this first set. Keeping the arms and legs straight, the legs are engaged. Use each inhale to lift out of your waist and use the exhale to lengthen over to your right side. 1 more breath here. Inhale back to center. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale over to your left side. So your biceps are on the ears. The front of your head is in line with your fingertips. Should be hearing your breath, keeping it deep and relaxed. Gaze straight ahead. And then let your head relax back. Lift your fingertips up to the ceiling. And then start to reach behind you. So keep your arms straight. Keep that slight bend in the knees. Head is relaxed. Hearing your breath, lift up on the inhale. Reach and soften back as you exhale. One more breath here. And then inhale back to center. Put your hands onto your thighs, bend your knees. And then you'll lengthen your tummy chest over the thighs. Let the head hang loose and ready. Hands behind the ankles. Hearing your breath. Bend your knees as much as you need so you've got that chest and thighs pressing together. Relax the head again. One more breath here. And return. Bend the knees as you come out. Steeple high, look up. And release. Right, let's do this again. Second set, hands to prayer. Take a deep inhale. Steeple high, look up. Back into your own eyes. And then inhale, lift out of your waist, lengthen through to the fingertips, and as you exhale, breathe over to the right side. Tick over for one breath. Keep the arms and legs straight. Core is engaged. Tick over for two, biceps on the ears. Inhale for 3. Reaching over to your right side. 2. One more breath. And release. Come back to your center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale over to your left side. Tick over for one breath. So try and square your hips and shoulders. Tick over for 2. Biceps on the ears. Gaze ahead for 3 breaths. Softening as you exhale. 2. Make sure both feet are pressing firmly to the ground. Feel that stretch on the right side of your body for 1. And release back to center. Let's do our second back bend. Soften the knees. Maybe look down for a moment. And then let your head go right back. Core is engaged. Lift up as you inhale. Reach back as you exhale. Tick over for one breath. Keep the gaze to the fingertips. Your head is relaxed. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Lift up, reach back. 2. Squeeze the thighs together. Feet pressing firmly to the ground. 1 more breath. And release. Come forwards. Bend your knees. Hands to thighs. Tummy, chest. Pressing on those thighs. Let your head go loose. Hands behind the ankles. Let your elbows behind the knees. Maybe give the head a nice shake, releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders. Keep those knees bent as much as you need to ensure your chest is pressing on the thighs. Hearing your breath for 3. Use that bicep strength, use the abdominal strength to lengthen the spine for 2. Ground softening to the floor. 1 more breath. And release. Bend the knees, steeple high, look up. And you just heard. Maybe do 3 sets of this, so hopefully you'll feel a little bit warm now. Hands to prayer. Third set. Inhale the arms high. Look up. Gaze straight ahead. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale over to your right side. Take over for one breath. So square your hips and shoulders. Tick over for 2. Make sure you're not collapsing into the right side, but you're lifting out of the waist for 3 breaths. Use that exhale to soften into the posture for 2. Keep the legs engaged. 1 more breath. And release. Inhale, lengthen. Through to your fingertips. Exhale over to your left side. Tick over for 1 breath. So your arms are straight, biceps from the ears. Tick over for 2. Press both feet equally to the ground. 3 breaths. Lift as you inhale, soften as you exhale for 2. Feeling that stretch along the right side of your body from the heel through to your fingertips. For 1. And release. Let's come into our third back bend. Soften the knees. Relax your head back. Keep that core engaged so you're internally contracting. And you're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling, chest to the ceiling. And then start to trace the fingertips along the ceiling towards the back of the room. Tick over for 1 breath. Relax your head again. Try to bring the biceps to the ears. Tick over for 2. Inhale. 3. Lift up. Reach back. Keep those fingertips moving. 2. Think of this as a front opening of the body. 1 more breath. And release. Come forwards. Bend your knees. Hands to the thighs. Get that tummy in the chest. Press it onto the thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need. Hands behind the ankles. Let your head go heavy. Let down gravity help you lengthen the spine. Elbows are behind the knees. Shoulders are relaxed. Slowly contract. For 3 breaths. Use the exhale. 2. Bend your face to the knees or shins. 1 more breath. And release. And the knees you come out. Steep, high, look up. And return. Let's go straight into our walk posture. So we've just moved the spine in all 4 directions. Now we're going to open up into the hips. So set your feet hips width distance, toes pointing straight ahead. Inhale the arms to shoulder level. As you exhale, lean forward, stick the tailbone out, and then sit back into the hips. When you're coming back into the heels, tick over for 1 breath. Internally contract, suck that tummy in. Tick over for 2, shoulders are relaxed, arms are active. For 3 breaths. Lift the chest, sit deeper for 2. Lift the toes, weight into the heels. For 1. And release. Come up onto the balls of your feet. Fix your gaze to help you with your balance. Really focus on your breath. Lean forward slightly and then bend into the knees. Do everything very slowly. Tick over for 1. Kick up those heels. Lock out those calves. Tick over for 2. Arms are active. For 3 breaths. Sitting a little deeper. For 2, if your legs are at 90, start to bring the hips forwards, tuck that tailbone under. For 1 more breath, and release. So come now into either pure balances. So bring your feet together and just drop straight down. Or if your feet aren't so flexible, bring your hands to the floor, knees to the floor. Keep the toes tucked under. Arms to shoulder level, and then we leaning back, squeeze the thighs together. Drop the gaze to the edge of your mouth for 3, 2, keep the core strong, squeeze the thighs. 1 more breath, and release. Hands down, knees up, lengthen tummy, chest over the thighs, tuck the chin in, and then pull around the knees. If you can cup the elbows, that's great. Or you might need to keep your hands to the floor to help with your balance. But tuck that chin right in. Enjoying that lovely opening of the spine. Feeling that breath come all the way to the back of the lungs. 3, 2, 1, and release. Jump up if you wish, or just come up nice and slowly, bit by bit. Relax the shoulders and return. So we do 2 steps of awkward, and straight into the second step. Set your feet hips width, so your feet knees directly in line under your hips. Inhale the arms to shoulder level, and then as you exhale, stick your tailbone out, sit back into the hips, as if sitting back into a chair. Tick over for 1 breath, so your thighs should be in alignment, toes pointing straight ahead. Tick over for 2, suck that tummy in for 3 breaths. Lift the chest as you inhale, sit deeper on the exhale. 2, weight into the heels, keep those arms active. 1 more breath, sit a little deeper, and release. Come up onto the balls of your feet, so kick those heels up. Lock out the calves. Focus on your breath, fix your gaze, lean forwards, and then bend very slowly into those knees. Keep those heels lifted. Tick over for 1. You should be hearing your breath. Tick over for 2. Suck the tummy in. For 3 breaths. Use that exhale to sit deeper. For 2, keep your arms active. Shoulders back and down. 1 more breath. And release. Bring your feet together. Hands to the floor, knees to the floor, or pure balancing. Keep the arms out to shoulder level. And then slowly come down. We're softening the knees towards the ground. Softening the shoulders back and down. Drop your gaze to the top of your mat. Squeeze the thighs together. Internally contract for 3 breaths. 2. 1. And release. Come forwards. Lengthen over the thighs, tuck the chin into the collarbone. Your tailbone is softening to the ground. Tuck that chin in. So the spine is elongating, creating space between each vertebrae, encouraging beautiful nerve flow. 3 breaths. Feel that breath come all the way to the back. 2. Tuck your chin in again. Soften the heels to the ground. 1 more breath here. And release. Jump up if you wish. Just come up nice and slowly. And return. Okay, so let's warm up all of our joints now. Starting in our mountain, out to Dasana, hands to prayer. Coming into eagle posture. Inhale the arms wide. Lean forwards, bend into that standing leg. And then inhale the left knee high, up and over. Wrapping the legs if you can, or maybe having toes to the ground. Just make sure there's no daylight between your thighs. Tick over for one breath. Square your hips. Tick over for two. Your hands, elbows, knees, all in one line in the center for 3 breaths. Lift the chest up. Sit into your standing leg for 2. Draw the elbows down. Engage the core. Sit deeper for 1. And release. Arms out wide. Hands to prayer. Grab second side. Inhale the arms wide. Exhale the right under the left. Draw your elbows down. And then inhale your right knee high this time. Leaning forward so you've got better balance. Then bend into that standing leg. Inhale the right leg high. Wrap the legs. Squeeze the thighs together. Tick over for 1. Square your hips, center your hands, elbows, knees. Tick over for 2. Keep the chest lifted. Engage the core for 3 breaths. Lift the chest. Draw the elbows down to the knees for 2. Sit deeper into your standing leg. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the legs for 1. And release. Arms out wide. Return. Breath here in between sets. Second set. Hands to prayer. Take a deep inhale. Exhale the left arm under the right. So you're crossing at the elbows. Draw the elbows down. Inhale your left knee high. So spread the toes of your right foot so you've got a strong foundation. Lean forwards. Bend into your standing leg. And then inhale the left leg high, wrap the legs or toes to the ground. Just make sure the thighs are squeezing together. Tick over for 1 breath. Center your hands, elbows, knees, internally contract. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Lift the chest, sit deeper for 2. Draw the elbows down. Squeeze the tummy in for 1 more breath. And release. Arms out wide. Hands back to prayer. Last set, last side. Inhale the arms wide. Exhale right under the left. Spread the toe of your left foot. And then inhale your right knee high. Lean forwards. Bend into that standing leg. Inhale the right leg high. Wrapping the legs or toes to the ground. Tick over for 1 breath. Square your hips. Tick over for 2. Center your hands, elbows, knees again. For 3 breaths. Lift the torso. Sit deeper. For 2. Draw the elbows down. Internally contract. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the legs. 1. And release. Arms out wide and return. Have a breath here. Stay with your breath in between postures. Have a sip of your water. And coming now into standing head to knee. So, the next 3 postures are single leg standing postures. So remember to engage and lift that thigh from standing leg to keep that leg strong and straight. Really important so your foundation is strong. So coming back to our mountain, standing head to knee, hands to prayer. Drop the gaze to the floor, and then inhale your right knee high. Interlace your fingers arms around or just below the kneecap. Elbows are bent, using the bicep strength, using the breath. Bring the knee up to the ceiling, to inhale, and then that thigh closer to the chest as you exhale. Take over for one breath. Keep your spine straight. Standing legs engaged, contracted. Take over for two. So if you are going to kick out, walk the hands down. Otherwise, just stay in that first part of posture. Inhale to straighten up. Exhale to kick forwards. For 3 breaths. So if both legs are straight, start to lengthen forwards. For 2. Internally contract, lengthen the spine, lead with the heel. For 1, and release, come out slowly. Second side. Engage through that right leg. Inhale your left knee high. So we're using that breath to bring the knee up as we inhale, and then squeezing that thigh to the chest on the exhale. Maybe just staying in this first posture today, focusing on your breath. If you're going to kick out, walk your hands down. Tick over for 1 breath. Up onto the front of your foot. Tick over for 2. Inhale to straighten up. Exhale to kick forwards. For 3 breaths. Flex the toes back to the face. That's lifted leg straight. For 2, hug the elbows around the calf, gaze to the floor. 1 more breath, and release. Come out slowly. Feet back together and return. Have your breath here in between sets. Second set, exactly the same again. Hands to prayer. Spread the toes of your left foot, so your left leg is engaged, and then inhale your right knee high. Use that bicep strength, bringing that knee up and in. Here in your breath, keep your spine straight, gaze to the floor, walk the hands down, look up on the front of your foot, taking over for 2 breaths. Inhale to straighten up. Exhale to kick forwards. For 3 breaths. Lengthen forwards. Flex the toes to the face. For 2. Hug the elbows around the calf. Internally contract. Lead with the heel. For 1. And release. Come out slowly. Last set, last side, soften the shoulders, release any tension. Engage to your right leg, inhale your left knee high. So you should be hearing your breath. If your breath is starting to strain, you need to back up out of the posture. Take over for 1. Walk the hands down, your thighs on the chest. Tick over for 2, up. Inhale to straighten up. Exhale to kick forwards. For 3 breaths. So lengthen forwards, lead the heel. For 2, hug the elbows around the calf. Standing legs engaged. Gaze to the floor for 1. And release. Come out the way you went in. And return. 1. Coming down into standing bow. Another single leg standing posture. So coming back to our mountain again. Hands to prayer. Inhale your right elbow to the waist, so that palm is facing up. Kick back your right foot, grab the inside of the foot or ankle, and then the knees are touching, hips are Standing legs engaged. Inhale your left arm high. Lengthen through to the fingertips as you inhale. And then start to tip forwards as you exhale. Start to kick into your right foot. Kick hard into that right hand. Keep your left arm lifted. Tip over for 1. Finding your balance. Finding your form. Tip over for 2. Inhale for 3. Reach through the left arm and fingertips. For 2. Kick and point those toes up to the ceiling. Use your bottom strength. Kick and reach. 1 more breath. And return. Soften the shoulders, release any tension. Hands to prayer. Let's do the left side, palm facing up. Kick back your left foot. Grip the inside of the foot or ankle so your shoulder is open. Touch the knees. Inhale your right arm. Lengthening through to the fingertips. Start to tip forwards on the exhale. Tick over for 1 breath. Find your form, find your balance. Tick over for 2. Fix your gaze. Inhale for 3. Reaching and kicking. For 2. Extend through your right arm. Keep that right arm lifted. Gaze straight ahead. 1 more breath. And release. And return. Have a breath here. Preparing for the second set. Inhale that right elbow to the waist. Palm is facing up. Don't change that hand position. Kick back the foot, grab the inside. Knees are touching. Hips are square on. Inhale your left arm high. Exhale, start to tip forwards. Start kicking into your right foot. Standing legs engaged. Tip over for 1. Tip over for 2. Keep the chest lifted. Inhale for 3. Extend through the left arm. Reach through to those fingertips. For 2. Kick hard into your right hand. Lift and point those toes. Kick and reach for 1. And release. Last set, last side, standing bow. Inhale, right elbow to the waist. Kick back your left foot. Sorry, left hand this time. Knees to touch, hips are square. Inhale your right arm high, lengthen through to the fingertips. Exhale, start to tip forward. So your left knee is coming directly behind you. Eventually toes come out the top of the centre of your head. No rush on this. Tick over for 1. Find your form, find your balance. Focus your breath, focus your gaze. Tick over for 2. Keep that right arm lifted for 3 breaths. Reach as you inhale. Kick high as you exhale for 2. Your standing legs engaged. Kick and reach. 1 more breath here. And release. And return. Fantastic. So now we're coming into our T posture. Another single leg standing posture. So we're engaging the thigh again for this posture. On a standing leg. Step towards the back of the mat. Sulandasana, standing bow, or also known as balancing stick. Stepping to the back of your mat, coming back to our mountain posture. Hands to prayer, feet together. Take a deep inhale. Stoop high, look up, and then look straight ahead. Inhale, lengthen, step onto your right foot. Spread those toes, that foot's firmly planted to the ground. And then we're lifting the left toes. So elongating through that left leg. The toes are pointing to the back of the room. Fingertips reaching forwards. Keep that straight line. Focus on your breath. Tick over for 1. Standing leg is engaged. Tick over for 2. Biceps on the ears. 3 breaths. Reach forwards. Reach back. 2. Hear your breath. 1. And release. Step back. Keep the arms high. Look up for a moment. Look straight ahead. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step onto your left foot. Spread those toes. That foot's firmly planted, that leg's engaged. And then we're lifting and pointing the right leg this time. Focusing on our breath. Keeping that breath deep and relaxed. To go for 1. As the body comes down, the leg comes up, tick over for 2. Keep that straight line. 3 breaths. Reaching forwards, reaching back. 2. Round the head to the line of your fingertips. 1 more breath. And release. Step back. Look up. Reach up. And return. Stay with the breath. Breathe in and out through your nose. Calm your heart rate. Second set. Either doing exactly the same again. If you have a confident T posture, you want to go further into full splits. Hands to prayer. Inhale the arms high. Take your time, fill the lungs. Look up. And then look straight ahead. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Step onto your right foot. Lift and point with the left toes. Keeping that straight line. Keeping the front of the body open. Biceps on the ears. Set the T first, or just stay here, focusing on your breath. Tick over for 1. Hands to the floor if you're going further. Tick over for 2. Same hand to same leg. Maybe both hands. For 3 breaths. Extend and point through that left leg. Point the toes. For 2. Hearing your breath. Soften your head. Feel in full splits. Picking higher. 1. And release. Push the ground away. Steeple high step back. Last step, last side. Look straight ahead. Inhale, lengthen. Step onto your left foot. Lift and point the right toes. So you should be always hearing your breath. Moving on the exhale. Set the T first if you're coming into full splits. Otherwise, just stay here. Hands to the ground. Tick over for 1. Same hand to same leg. Maybe both hands. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Extend and point through the right leg and toes. 2. Lengthening the spine. Relax the head. You're in full splits for 1. And release. Push the ground away. Steeple high. Look up. And return. So let's move now back safely onto 2 feet. Walk wide leg forward to bend. one side of your mat. And then jump your feet wide apart. You put your arms out, your ankles almost in line with your wrists. Turn the toes in slightly. And then start to engage through those thighs. Internally contract, tailbone to the ground, hands to prayer. Inhale the arms wide, relax the head back. Exhale, start to come forwards. Bring the hands to the thighs. So keep the spine straight. You're lengthening forwards before you get lower. You might stay here. If your knees are starting to bend, back off out of the posture. You can keep your legs straight. Bring the hands down the side of the legs. Eventually come into the ankles. And then relax your head. Bring the weight forward slightly into the front of the feet. Shoulders relaxed. Tip over for one. Ground to the floor. Tip over for two. Start to feel that stretch in your hamstrings. 3 breaths. Use the exhale to go deeper into the posture. 2. Internally contract, lengthening the front of the spine, ground to the floor. 1 more breath. And release. Come out slowly. Arms wide, hips relaxed. And return. Up and step your feet back together for a moment. Second set. Set the distance again, turn the toes in, engage through the thighs, tailbone to the ground. Inhale the arms wide, relax the head back. Exhale, come forwards. Maybe hands to the thighs, keeping that spine straight. So you're looking forwards, and then your gaze comes to the carpet. Eventually you're on the other mat. Hands to the outside of the ankles. Relax your head. Over for 1. Bring the weight forward into the front of the feet. Tip over for 2. Internally contract. 3 breaths. Use that exhale to go deeper into the posture. 2. Lengthening the spine. Round to the floor. 1 more breath, and release. Now slowly, relax your head back, and return. Step the feet back for a moment. Coming now into Trikonasana posture. So step your feet wide again. This time toes are pointed straight ahead, we're not turning the toes in. Engaging through the thighs again, tailbone to the floor. Inhale the arms high to a steeple. Exhale the arms to shoulder level. We're looking straight ahead now. Turn your right foot in by 90 degrees. Turn your left foot in slightly. Keeping your body upright. We're sinking into the hips and bending into that right knee. Bring that forearm to the thigh. And then we're looking up, reaching up with the left fingertips. Tick over for 1 breath. Maybe elbow to the inside of the knee if your hips are low enough. Fingertips reach into the floor, not touching. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Reach up with those fingertips. Reach down, push down through that right arm for 2. Push firmly through your left foot. That left leg is engaged. Internally contract for 1. And release. Steeple high. Exhale the arms to shoulder. Turn your left foot in. Just turn the right foot in slightly. Keep the body upright, sink into the left knee. Forearm to the thigh. Reach up through the right arm. Look up to the right fingertips. Tick over for 1. Maybe elbow to the inside of the left knee. Tick over for 2. Your right leg is engaged. 3 3 breaths. Reach up, sit deeper. For 2, push through your right foot. That right leg is engaged. Internally contract. For 1 more breath. And release. Steep high. Look up. And return. Second set. This time the arm comes up and over. Set your feet wide again. Hands to prayer. Inhale the arms high. Exhale the arms to shoulder. Turn your right foot 90. Turning in. Sinking into the hips. Forearm to the thigh. Left arm comes up and over. Your palm is facing the floor. Hearing your breath, push down on that forearm. Or maybe hand resting on the ground next to your right foot. Tick over for 2. Ground down through that left foot for 3 breaths. Feel that stretch on the left side. Reach with the fingertips for 2. Look up at your left arm. Internally contract. Sink the hips deeper for 1. And release. Steep high. Exhale the arms to the shoulders. Turn your left foot in. Turn your right foot in slightly. Sinking into the hips. So we're keeping the body upright. We're just getting into that left knee. Bring the forearm to the thigh. And your right arm comes up and over. Palm is facing the floor. Focus on your breath. Tick over for 1. We're not collapsing into that left side. We're lifting and reaching through to the fingertips. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Push through that right foot. That right leg is engaged. For 2. Look up to the right arm. Reach through to the fingertips. Internally contract for 1 more breath. And release. Steep high. And return. Excellent. So, next up is revolving triangle. This time a narrow stance. Set your feet about a meter's width. Toes pointing straight ahead. Engage through the thighs, hands to prayer. Inhale the arms high. Keep the arms high, look straight ahead, and then pivot on your feet. So your back foot is turning in about 10 to the hour on the clock face. Sway your hips forwards, and then inhale, relax your head back. Exhale, come forwards. Keep your arms and legs straight. Your left hand pushes down on your leading left thigh or shin, eventually resting on the ground on the outside of your right foot. Then you're twisting the torso, looking up at the right fingertips. Tick over for 1 breath. So both legs are engaged. Push your back heel to the ground. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Push down through that left arm. Reach up through the right for 2. Lengthening from the base through to the crown of the head. Twist the torso, look up for 1. And release. Maybe then the knees should come out. Turn your back. Steeple high. Pivot on your feet, so we do the opposite side. This time your back foot is 10 past the hour on the clock. Sway your hips, so bring that right hip round. Inhale, lift the chest, relax your head. Exhale, come forwards, both legs are engaged. This time your right hand pushes down your leading left thigh or shin. Resting on the ground, on the outside of your left foot. And then you twist the torso, reach up through the left fingertips, tick over for 1, push firmly through both feet, tickle your back heel, tick over for 2, turn and contract for 3 breaths, twist that torso, reach up, reach down for 2, and return. So we do one set of that, and then the second set, reverse prayer. Set your feet and knees width again, toes pointing straight ahead, thighs are engaged, tailbone to the ground. Bring the hands behind you, either cup the elbows or hold the wrists, or if you can, bring your hands into full prayer. Put the fingertips up towards the shoulder blades. Pivot on your feet, so your back foot's turned in slightly. Make sure you're not standing on one single line. You've got a little gap widthways between your feet. Square the hips. Inhale, relax the head back. Exhale, come forwards. Keep that root block engaged, so we're lengthening the spine onto that bed leading leg. So you're bending your right leg. Head to hand, chest pressing onto the thigh. So you go for one, push firmly through both feet, push the heel and palms together. Tick over for two, relax your head for 3 breaths. Line that leading leg straighter. 2. The head hang, full length through the back of the neck. Softening the crown to the floor. 1 more breath. And release. Pivot on your feet. Let's do the opposite side. Back foot 10 past the hour. Square the hips. Inhale, relax your head back. Exhale, come forwards. Suck that tummy in. Bend the left leg. And tummy and chest pressing onto that thigh. Let the head hang. Hearing your breath. Tick over for 1. Bend that knee as much as you need to get good thigh and chest contact. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Line that leading leg a little straighter as you exhale. For 2, you'll length through the back of the neck. Push firmly through both feet. Push the heel and palms together. 1. And release. Push the ground away. And return. So we have 2 more standing postures before we come to the floors. So they can have a quick drink. Before we come into our fierce posture, 1 set of fierce. So standing in your mountain posture again, feet are together, hands to prayer. Inhale, lean the body forwards. Exhale, start to bend into the knees. And then inhale, sweep the arms high. Look up to the fingertips, bring the weight back into the heels. Tick over for 1 breath. So we're trying to reach as high as we can while sitting as deep as we can. Tick over for 2. Inhale for 3. Reach up. Sit deeper. 2, squeeze the thighs together, internally contract, lift up, sit down for 1, and release. Our last standing posture is tree. Hands to prayer. Keep that left leg engaged. Inhale, right knee high. Bringing that knee up, in towards the chest. Then grab hold of the foot or ankle, bringing that right heel into the left groin or anywhere on that left thigh. Drop the tailbone so your bottom isn't sticking out. We're tucking the tailbone under and then we're softening that right hip knee down. Internally contract. Root it into the ground. Line through the torso. Keep that spine straight, tuck the chin, crown to the skin. 3 breaths. Shoulders level for 2. Bring that thigh into the chest, grab a hold of the foot, bring that heel into the right groin or anywhere on that right thigh. Keep a hold of the foot, so hands to half prayer or maybe full prayer, if you can let go of that foot without sticking out the bum. So tuck the tailbone under, soften into that left knee. Turn and contract, lengthening the spine through to the crown of the head. 3, 2, 1. Release. Hold the knee to come out. And then coming to lie onto our back for wind-breathing posture. Uttanasana, so lying flat onto your back. When you're ready. So the back of the head, shoulders resting on the floor. Tuck the knees into the chest. Keep the knees and feet together. And either clasp grip, or if you can, hook up the elbows. Maybe rock from side to side to get that length through the waist. Soften the hips and shoulders down to the ground. So we're trying to get the spine as flat to the ground as possible, whilst bringing the thighs into the chest. Take over for 1. Take over for 2. Inhale for 3. Hug those knees into the chest as you exhale. For 2, tuck the chin, feel the length through the back of the neck. Soften the hips to the ground, soften the shoulders to the ground. For 1, and release. So that's fantastic for stimulating the digestive system. That last posture, but now we're coming into our first sit-up. So legs out straight, feet together, toes pointing, and remember to roll onto your side if you have any back concerns and just come up in your own time. Otherwise, inhale the arms high to a steeple, hold the breath, and fire body forwards. Exhale once you sat up, and let's come now into Asana, forward seated bend. So maybe lift the buttocks, lift the heels to the back of the legs, straight, pressing back the knees towards the mat, feet together, flex the toes towards the face, and then with a straight spine, we're leading with the chest, lengthening the front of the spine, hands to the outside of the feet one day, or maybe just stay here, pushing on the shins, lengthening on each inhale, softening into the posture as you exhale. 3 breaths. Two. 1. Release. Now we have our boat posture. So stay seated, bend your legs up so your feet are flat to the ground. Maybe keeping your hands behind the knees in this posture. This is working the abdominals, so if you have any weakness in your back, it would be wise to keep your hands there. So let's lift the legs, extend through the arms, point the toes, straight back the shoulders for 5. 4, maybe straighten the legs if you can. Extend through the arms for 3, 2, 1, and release. Hands to the ground and lift. 7 set. For 5, Point those toes. 4. Draw the chest to the thighs. 3, 2, 1, and release. Lift. Last set. For 5. For 4. Draw the chest to the thighs. Keep that back straight. For 3, 2, 1, and release. And lift. Okay, so let's come now onto our back strengthening postures on the floor. So we've got 3 of these, starting with Cobra. So come into lie on your tummy. Bhujangasana Cobra posture. Come to lie on your front. So feet together. Chin is square to the mat. Bend your elbows and the tips of your fingertips are in line with the tops of your shoulders. Toenails remain in contact with the mat. Feet together so your leg is one piece. Take a deep inhale. And then lifting up as you exhale. So press through the legs, press through the toes. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Tuck the elbows in, shoulders back and down for 3. Lift higher for 2. For 1. And release. Up and down. Turn your head to one side so the ears are on that. Bring your toes together, let your heels fall out. Just completely relax for a moment. Have a breath. So the second set, square your chin. Legs together, press through the toes. Take a deep inhale. And lifting up. Lifting the torso, lift the gaze. Keep the elbows tucked in. Look up, press through the legs. 3, 2, 1. And release. Soften down, turn the head the other way. Bring your toes together, let your hips fall out, and breathe. Come to forward, Asana. So feet now about hips width distance. Arms 45 degrees out of the body, palms facing down. So this time you're lifting the arms and the legs. Square the chin, take a deep inhale. And lifting up. Lift the legs, lift the arms. Draw the fingertips towards each other. Lift the gaze, look up for 3. Point and extend through those legs. 2. Lift the thighs away. For 1. And release, soften down. Turn the head the opposite direction. Your toes together and then let your heels fall out. Release into the lower back. And move. Second set, square the chin. Feet are apart. Arms facing down. Take a deep inhale. And lifting up. So engage through the legs. Lift the arms, lift the chest. Point the toes to the back of the room. For 3. Look up, lift up. For 2. Lift the thighs away. Draw the fingertips towards each other. For 1. And release. Soften down. Take the other way. And breathe. Your heels fall out. Make sure your toes are together. Heels forward. The last of the floor back strengthening. Feet slightly apart. Hip back your feet for floor burn. Have the outside of the foot or ankle. Chin is square. Keep the shoulders relaxed. pull the end of the thumb from the kick. Take a deep inhale and kicking up. So kick hard into your hands, lift the gaze to the ceiling, kick higher, point the toes for 3. Hear your breath for 2. Kick some more, 1 more breath, and release. Turn the heel away. Soften the wheels and breathe. Square chin for the last set. So we're working the entire length of the spine now. Lift back your feet. Relax the shoulders. Bring the knees closer together if you want a deep stretch. Otherwise, you can wider apart. Take a deep inhale. And kicking up. Kick into your hands. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Lift your gaze. Kick higher. Use your buttock strength for 3. 2. 1. And release. Soften down. Get your way and breathe. Now when you're ready, come up and sit in between your heels for Uttanasana. Reclining hero posture. So if you can get your buttocks to the ground and go all the way back, if you can't, when you're sitting on your heels, just come halfway back. So your hands are behind you, fingertips pointing to the toes. Just stay here. It's like bending the elbows, hips relaxed. Enjoy the front opening of the body, hearing your breath. Stay with your breath, soften into the posture. Coming back all the way, not back on elbows at a time, to the back of your shoulders and the head resting on the ground. Pull your buttocks towards the top of your mat to get safer and closer to the floor. Pop the elbows above the head for 3 breaths. 2. 1. About 1 side at a time. Up with your elbow. We're coming into our last sit-up. So lie flat onto your back. If you have any back concerns, just stay seated. Otherwise, feet together, toes are pointing. Inhale the arms above the head to a steeple. Hold the breath and fire the body forwards. Exhaling once you set up. Let's come into our last Passionate forward seated bend. Lift the buttocks, lift the heels. Feet together, toes first into the face, and with a square back, leading with the sternum, lifting out of the waist, lift the lowest part of the tummy away from the tops of the thighs. Hands venture to the outside of the feet, 3 breaths. Use that inhale to create space. 2. Face to the shins for 1. Turn. Let's come and sit down at the back of our mats for our beautiful relaxation posture half tortoise. Sitting on your heels. Nice breath. Inhale your arms high. Look straight ahead. And then as you exhale, lengthening
This is a beautiful posture to relax the mind, relax into the lower back, to focus on your breath. Deep breath, deeply relaxed. Keeping it even, making the exhale slightly longer than the inhale. Keeping your attention on your breath. Focusing on the sound, focusing on the sensation. Knowing the deep relaxed breathing, calming the body, reducing stress levels, pushing our body into that rest and digest mode. Keeping your mind on pleasant mode. Allowing your mind to relax. Proceed with the flow. Engage through the arms, steeple high, look up, and return. So, towards the very end of our practice now, we finally into spinal twist, sitting on both buttocks for our Savasana. Sit on both buttocks, cross the left leg onto the right, bring that right leg over. Keep the spine straight, and with the opposite elbow to the raised knee, lifting out to the waist, twisting that torso, so lift from the lowest part of your tummy, twist the spine for 3, 2, squeeze the abdominals, lift and twist for 1, and release, do the opposite side. I'll just turn to the front so you've got a different angle. So cross the right leg onto the left. Bring that left heel over that bent knee. Opposite elbow to the raised knee. And you're going to hold that thing underneath. Keep that spine straight. So we're lifting out the waist, looking over the shoulder. 3 breaths. 2, lift and twist the lowest part of the tummy to the top of the crown of the head. 1, and release. Let's lie on our back now for Savasana. So we've gone a couple of minutes over. So lying onto your back. Come into into a stiff savasana just for a moment. So the feet are apart. Start to point the toes, start to clench through the legs, clenching the buttocks. We're holding our breath here, we're clenching our fists. The whole body feels completely rigid. And then exhale and release. Let go of any remaining tension in the body. Just let it go. Feet are wider than the hips. Toes gently falling out. Arms released by your sides. Palms facing the ceiling. Fingertips gently curling. Just allow the ground to completely support you. Body feels light. Total relaxation in that minutes. Gently breathe back into it. Bring the fingers and toes. Take some deep breaths. Stretch back into your body. And bring the knees up, put the knees into your chest. Roll onto the sides. Ready? Push yourself up. Back to seated.